This thing on? Hey, folks. Welcome back to Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Thank you guys for stopping in. Let's see, we got 4 folks in the chat here.
Thank you guys for stopping by and checking
absolutely.
us out. Let's see who's in here with us. Give us a second.
Yeah,
Mike
sorry
doesn't know
guys.
how to look at him.
That's what you do with it. You give it to the Livingston man. So, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about the old ways.
Live chat, so.
Oh, thank you. Cool. Daniel R. Howdy from Dutchess County, New York. Hey, Daniel, how are you? Nice to see you tonight. Thanks for stopping in. The old ways, guys. The old ways is something that some people call them the lost ways. The way our grandparents used to do things. And, the more I think about the possibility of things spiraling out of control, the more real it seems every day almost. And I often wonder if, as a society, if we have it in us to get back to those old ways, to almost regress from the technological advances that we've had, and really get back to working with our hands and doing things like that. If everything spirals out of control and the grid goes down, the gas pumps aren't going to work for long because eventually all that will fail.
Someone has to drive the truck that brings that gas to that place, and there's way too many things between that port where that gas showed up and the pump where you get it.
Absolutely.
To really put a lot of faith in that system.
Yeah. And guys, we see it every day. The just-in-time delivery system is breaking down. It's not as stable as it used to be. So those who don't know, the just-in-time delivery system is actually a federal system. It's something that the Army used, and they adapted it to civilian life and big corporations, the Waltons and such of the big, what would you call them, big box stores.
The oligarchy.
Yeah. So that system was brought over from the federal government. As things are scanned out of the store, the registers essentially reorder everything as it leaves. So it gets back on the shelves just in time for the next customer to come and scoop it up off the shelf. So thus the just-in-time delivery system. And the hiccups, just from the current policies and things like that are going on, it's only going to get worse, guys. And even the mainstream media is talking about it now. So
why did it work? Well, then,
yeah.
But why is it struggling and like kind of stumbling now? What's the difference?
They say
There's bugs in here, and I'm going to kill every single last one of them.
Get them
on this live stream.
Yeah, we're inundated here in the bunker.
I have to eat them. I will.
It got warm today here, so
eat the bugs.
Yeah, they came out. Free protein.
Check your
flying
carbon
around.
Footprint, okay.
So
we're gonna talk about like times going by. Remember the old normal?
Yeah, that too. That too.
I don't know, whatever, like whether it was when we were kids or just how things used to be different than they are. Like, without getting into all kinds of nonsense politics and whatnot. Like, politics come and go, and yet they're amazingly always the same.
Yeah, jargon over and over.
There comes a time when you got to just be like, what matters to like me and mine,
Yep, exactly.
Some shit on the news can get you pissed off. But when you look out your front door, like, you don't see that, do you? Because it was something that happened in a place, and they try to spin it like...
like it's everywhere.
Right? That it's everywhere all the time, and it's not. Whatever the issue is, I promise you that it's not everywhere all the time.
No. And they're playing on people's weaknesses and kind of pulling at the
I'd love to get nostalgic with you tonight. I'd love to
Yeah.
talk about like just what like time gone by. About when I'm old enough now where I get to be like when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and,
true.
I've been cutting my hair, pull your pants up, and this and that. Like, Jesus, come on, kid. These kids these days, so it's fun. Like, and but those kind of nostalgic memories can help you.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, you'll be like, "Whoa, it was way different back then. I had way less. It wasn't like this today. I didn't
yeah,
have it the way I do." There's bugs in here. I'm gonna eat all of them. But yeah, come on, come with us down this road. Like hit us in the comments with like some
yeah.
of
Down the history
your old
rabbit
memories,
hole.
like things you would be so like strange to do today that were totally normal when you were a kid. I'm like
Yeah.
I'll call myself a '90s kid.
Yeah,
Born
sleeping
in
with
the
your
born in
sleeping with
the
your
'80s,
doors
lived in the
unlocked.
'90s, worked
Those
for the rest of it.
those days are gone, unfortunately.
What do you guys got? Who's with us here tonight? What's up?
Let's see. We got Laura is here. Daniel R is here. Jason Chrisman, what up?
How
Old
they used to
Mutt
be?
in
How
the
they used to
house.
be, old Mutt? How did it used to be, old Mutt? What's different?
Old Mutt knows. Old Mutt knows. Old Mutt is wise.
Old Mutt, how did it used to be? Well, hit us in the comments. We're waiting. We're waiting on you right now. He's coming.
Oh man.
Tell you what, I'm the Livingston man. I don't do this whole like juggle 13 different social media things, but if you go on Facebook
Yep.
and you type in Livingston first name, man, last name, like Livingston, man, it's me. I look like this. Probably some dude wearing. It's me. Friend request me. I love y'all. I'm gonna be posting a bunch of
Oh, behind the scenes
B
footage,
cam
you said,
footage,
right?
like behind
Yeah.
the scenes stuff we don't like. Like not like we don't use it, like it's not good enough, but it just we have all kinds of
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that like you guys don't even know about, and like just like show you a different side of like how this whole thing works. If you were into something like that, I'm the camera operator / editor at Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival.
That's my buddy. That's my buddy. He's
He
a good
does
man.
his thing, I do that, but different too.
Yep.
So it's cool, man. I'd love to hear from all y'all.
So Arkansas Livin says that he still does most of what he used to do. And I agree. I mean, I try to keep life as normal as possible. But times have definitely changed. We're all walking around with supercomputers in our pockets now. We've got a lot of smartphones and a lot of dumb people,
Those
unfortunately.
idiots on Star Trek ain't had nothing like this thing. I mean,
No,
did you
this
guys
thing's
see the
awesome.
video feed back there? Is there something really cool happening? I hope so. We'll check it out later. We don't get to actually see this. This is live.
Yeah,
It's live.
yeah. So it's awesome.
Remember back in the day? I mean, all right, let me talk about it.
So Old Mutt said, if you want to take it way back,
Let's go.
he said, you think about the Little House on the Prairie TV show.
Thank you. This is what
Yeah.
people really need to
That's exactly
imagine.
what I thought about when,
Like the Oregon Trail, you remember that?
yeah, that's exactly what I
You died
thought
of
about
dysentery because you didn't boil your
when
water.
I put the title
Dumbass.
of the video up, or the description of the video up. It's it's going back even further than what we knew. If we ran into the potential of, well, the realization of a grid down scenario, eventually we would have to completely get back to those old ways. Plowing the field with the oxen or the horses, and all the hard work, the things that create the
It's horrifying, isn't it? Like
The-
you see
the
that
tough
face I made,
men.
I was like, oh.
yeah, it's you gotta think about those things, guys.
Okay, the power is out, except like it's never coming back. Like you're done.
Yeah. Then
Now
what? Then what? Can you
The single-
find the tools that you need to do all these
I
things?
told you I'd kill some bugs, and I'm gonna. The single most, the big thing that everyone is probably the most reliant on is like a power grid and a source of electricity.
Yeah.
Without it, your way of life is like crushed. Like your little cell phone's only gonna last so long before you can't charge it anymore.
Yep.
And oh my goodness, And remember, and this is where we come back to the topic of our chat tonight is remember when it just wasn't even like that? Like that was not a concern in your life.
No, not at all.
Oh my
Yep,
device
my
will
phone,
die. Like oh no.
So Jason
Like
Christmas
you went outside
says,
and played with your friends and you jumped into traffic and you just did like
yeah, you played in the streets. You played in the
made
streets.
terrible decisions
You'd
and like
scream for car.
the best of us all here, we're all watching and on this tonight. The best of us, we didn't die doing it. So we all learned stuff and we grew
Yeah.
up to be tough. I ran
Took
the
the hard
streets,
lumps.
Hudson, New York.
Yeah.
Ran the streets of Hudson, New York.
And didn't get
a lot
macked
of
by a car.
a lot of great friends who I'm not going to name just because like I didn't ask them if I could, but but like I still remember you guys, man. Y'all know who I am. I know who you are, and doing the most unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
Like just because there was video games, but like it was really our parents. They were like, get outside, like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. Arkansas Living
Let's
is
go.
Arkansas Living said he made a video that he never dropped about Depression era life and stuff, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. And Livingston man took it. He didn't go quite back as far as I did with the title.
I didn't think we were gonna get into like.
Oh,
it's
medieval
it's
times? Yeah.
essentially, well, the like
yeah.
like American frontier, like, or if maybe you're like a person who plays like Fallout or something like that. Like
Yeah.
the wasteland, like a primitive existence. Like society is like gone, like as you
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah,
a
it's
whole different
crumbling,
world,
guys.
The Wild West.
So if you're thinking about preparing and you're thinking really long term, you have to try and acquire the tools that would allow you to live that kind of lifestyle again, or adapt the tools that you already have to be able to technologically bring them back and make them still work somehow. There's a lot of modern adaptations of older style tools. And I think we would have to reverse engineer some of the stuff that we have now to be able to fit into that box so we can use it when all the electricity and everything is gone.
It's an interesting place you're going here. Like,
Yeah.
well, because you think about like tools, like all of us, whatever, especially if you're tradespeople, like we all got our tools and stuff, but all of them really kind of do like
A couple different jobs.
just a couple different things. Like you have a saw, like a driver, and I mean, and take a driver out of the picture, like a screw gun or a screwdriver.
Yeah, you
and
replace
a
that
hammer,
with nails. Yeah.
or wooden pegs with holes. So you have
Yeah,
like
dowels.
a saw, a drill, and a driving
Implement of sorts. Yeah.
and you can build a civilization with that.
Yeah, with just those couple tools. Now, when you get into you can find them at yard sales, man. Yard sales. That brings up another point. Prepper yard sales coming up, buddy.
Prepper yard sale.
You
Now,
might
it's
be able to find some of these tools at the prepper yard sale.
November 6th through the 7th.
Correct.
All right.
And we're going to be in Ancramdale, New York, at the Hornet's Nest Paintball and Airsoft facility. We're going to open up the arena, bring a bunch of tables inside, all kinds of prepping gear, survival gear, accessories for firearms and airsoft gear. No firearms are permitted for sale.
Smell it.
There's none of that there.
You ever walk into an Army Navy store and it's got that like
Oh yeah.
smell?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I
It's
can
like
smell it. When you started
cosmoline
talking about it, it's gonna be
and
this
military detergent.
surplus gear and everybody's
Oh, yeah.
spare crap that they bought too much stuff and now you
Well-
get to like barter and trade
Yeah.
as you will and like get to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah,
They
there's
probably-
definitely going to be a lot of people there. So
That buddy of yours makes good food too.
yeah, he's quite the cook. He's quite the cook, and he's a great guy. So I hope you guys can make it out. If you can't, I know some of you guys are all across the world, the country. But if you can't make it out, consider organizing something like this where you are. I'm nobody, guys. I'm nobody. I just decided to organize it and put it out there. And, hopefully we have a great turnout and some people who didn't have all of the prepping and survival gear that they needed before can pick up that gear for, little to no cost. I know I'm going to have a huge giveaway table there. And Old Mutt said he needs 2 tables for his giveaways. So there's going to be a lot of free stuff. There's going to be a lot of like-minded people. And we're gonna camp out too. So some campfire stories. The Angry Prepper said he's coming, so
What do you mean?
he's
Like
always a hoot, man. He's a
some of
great
these
guy.
the recipes these guys come out with around the campfire. Like I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
meet some characters, like have a great time.
Yep. Yep. It'll be fun.
What else is going on? What are they
We
saying about
got
me?
we got Northern Girl Hobbies in the house. What up, sister? Laura says, I'm sure you guys will sell out. What's we got?
Sell out.
Yeah, of everything.
I thought
Oh
you
yeah.
like I thought
Oh
I
no,
thought you
no,
meant like
no.
no, I'm gonna sell my
No.
brand for millions. I'm like,
Yeah, no,
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 I
no.
bet not.
That's not happening.
I already
That's not
have
happening.
millions.
Yeah.
I'm actually rich. That's why I do this.
Oh, for fun.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate it. Can I get on the payroll someday?
We'll see how your internship works out.
Oh boy. See, this is all a test,
It's
guys.
big
It's
business.
all a test.
Big business.
So the old ways.
I really love these nostalgic conversations. You know what? Because I don't remember like what I did like yesterday. Like I go to work, it's the grind. You do the thing, and then you know, like it's like when was that? Did I do that yesterday or 2 weeks ago? And it all blurs together. You all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But when you talk about nostalgia, you remember like who was there, what you did, like blah blah blah.
10
like,
years ago.
It's
Yeah.
like your formative.
Like it was
years.
yesterday.
Now, why? This for me boils into where like I actually got into what is now called like prepping. It used to be called my dad's a Vietnam veteran, has a bunch of fucking weird gear and stuff around the house, and you and
Yep.
your buddies,
Yeah,
and the
he's
whole
got jump off
the whole
bags.
neighborhood's full of vets, and you're all their kids, and you have this stuff laying around the house. So you go out and you play army, and you build forts in the backyard.
Yeah, and you watch the G.I.
You got,
Joe.
you got your little kid. Your old man's so proud. You got your first little set of BDUs, and it really sprung from there. And then you, because of them, like they'd catch you like creeping up on their gearbox,
Oh yeah.
and like be like, yeah, if you use it right, and then they show you like how to do
Yep.
it. And then it was like dope because you and your buddies are having like these wicked like
Backyard
Commando,
manhunt
Arnold
battles.
Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
Contra.
Those were
fucking
the
stuff.
days, man.
Like, like, and the real seeds of it were like sown there for me.
Yep.
Was in just being in, I guess, that lifestyle. We were not well off.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Made do with what you had.
I had a pair of the paratrooper dress boots.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
big heavy toe on them.
Yep.
All right. In like 5th grade, like those were like my shoes. Was like my old man got a good deal on them.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, and they're paratrooper boots. They're cool.
and so I kind of got my knowledge of like gear and like what like issued like kind of stuff is like all that sort of thing. But like,
Yeah, the Livingston man is my go-to guy when I'm talking about military surplus or I'm looking to get something military surplus. I always run it past him. And we're going to be covering more military surplus, right?
yes, the ECWAC system.
Yep.
We covered some base layers, I guess you call them. They would be more appropriate for like your 3 season wear, but the next installment will be about like what you'll like use in the actual winter, like
Okay.
the snow,
Cold
and
weather gear.
the-
Cold weather gear.
the nasty crap starts flying, especially precipitation. We'll show you. I have a cool windbreaker.
Okay.
I got to show you. I got the a soft shell like top and bottom.
Very nice.
A Gore-Tex set full on.
Yep.
Kind of like wearing a plastic bag, but I mean, if it's raining,
It keeps you dry.
you're dry.
Yep.
And the all important level 7, which is like a sleeping bag, except it's like you wear
Yeah.
it's really cool. I'm gonna show you what it looks like, how to use it properly, all that coming soon,
Awesome.
guaranteed.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. We also are working on solar power, right?
Yes,
Solar
got a
power.
the Jackery Solar Saga solar panels.
That's right. Solar
Okay.
Saga solar panels.
Right,
Yeah.
with the Jackery power units, 1,000
Yeah, you
watts.
say Solar Saga solar panels 15 times in a row, you win for the day. The whole internet is yours
It
for the
really
day.
takes
Yeah, work to do.
practice.
Yeah.
I know dudes like went and lived in a monastery for like 20 years. Like,
Yeah, you're not saying Solar Saga solar panels. I got it. I got it. I had practice. Livingston man kept
But
yelling
yeah,
at me.
it's got 1,000 watt. It's what it is a giant like big battery, and it charges off these wicked solar panels.
Yep.
And then you have this big old battery, and you can do whatever with it. And what we intend to do is, along with you, explore exactly what that means.
Yeah.
What can we do with 1,000 watts of banked power?
Yeah.
And so,
We're gonna put it through its paces at the live event also.
yep. So you
We're
get to
gonna
see it.
recreate this at the live event. So if you guys come out, you might be in one of these seats and on the channel. So something else to think about, guys.
Solar powered live stream.
Laura
Stay tuned
says
for
she's
that video.
wanting some solar panels. Do your research when you look into these things. You can spend a whole lot of money on them, and you want to invest in something quality. Always check the reviews, and don't just look at the good ones. Look at the bad ones too, and get a good range on there. Always research anything you guys are going to jump into as far as gear is concerned. That's why we have the channel for the most part. We're gonna beat this stuff up, guys. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna put it in the real world
I'm gonna plug like a
situations.
table saw into it. Like, let's do
Oh
this.
yeah, oh yeah. We want to run the
How many
entire
2x4s we ripping with
Hudson
this
Valley
thing?
Prepping and Survival studio off it at the event. So if it can handle that, I'm pretty sure it can work for you in a pinch. So something to think about, guys. Solar panels are awesome. Having the batteries to store that power is even better. What do you got there, Livingston, man?
This is a GoPro. So what I'm gonna do is just record like again, like
Oh, that's awesome.
maybe you'll see this on the Livingston Man's channel.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
POV
Perfect.
or the Livingston.
Yeah, when we get live, the Livingston man, he's always playing
This
around.
is what it looks like from. Nothing. This is what you guys look like.
Yep, there you go.
See that? Peace. All right, cool.
Awesome. So look for that on the Livingston Man page.
It's not the
Oh,
Livingston Man, as if my first name was Livingston
okay.
and
Gotcha.
my last name was Man, like Livingston Man. I'm the guy. There's a big fire burning behind me, looking like a psycho. That's
me. So the live event. I know a lot of people are coming out. I know we don't have any speakers planned. Nothing like that. I've been asked a lot of questions about it. I've been getting a ton of emails. When the Angry Prepper kind of threw us out there, I started getting contacted by a lot of people looking to come to this thing. Some people
thanks,
looking.
bro. Now we got to get traffic control.
Yeah, yeah. We're fending them off here. Let's see.
What else happening in the comments? Who's with us?
Shrimp Zoo News in the house.
Make
Old
the
Mutt-
hearts fly across the screen again. Y'all did it last time.
Yeah, Old Mutt says he loves his Jackery solar generator and his cooler size compressor refrigerator. Oh, that's a great combo, Old Mutt. What do you guys think about home generators? Can you have solar but put those also? I know they do make a Tesla Powerwall that you can have battery systems in your basement essentially, and then you charge them with the panels off the roof. They're pretty pricey. So if you're looking into something like that, you're going to want to find a large local solar company that does this stuff all the time and discuss something like that with them. That is a great way to make sure you have power when the lights go out, because typical solar systems just backfeed the grid. And some people think they have solar panels, and when the lights go out, they're still going to have power because they have solar panels. But it doesn't really work like that. You're actually backfeeding the power grid for the power company. And you get credited for that if you use less power than you generate. But if you don't have batteries to store that power, you don't have the power.
Right. A solar system for your home, especially like when you see these people, they got the solar panels on the roof and stuff. They have. I am not an expert on this. I have heard friends of mine that work in this field talk about it. So this is what I'll now attempt to repeat and make sense. A solar system relies on gathering energy during the day through sunlight and charging like battery or more than one battery, and then living off that battery and otherwise maintaining it from the solar array. Like you have like there, it's like a three-part system, like collection, storage, usage.
Yeah.
You can't just, you can, but it's never going to be reliable. Like just run like something directly off a solar panel. You'll of course only have current until the sun goes down. What I think, and again I don't know, but I think Mike's Jackery panels that he got, the
Yep.
Solar Saga
Solar
panels,
Saga solar panels.
I believe what they do are actually oh my goodness, what's the word? It's like thermoconductive. I believe.
Yeah,
I don't think that they actually are not photonic. If
Um,
that's the word, like a typical solar panel, like you see on
okay,
someone's roof.
okay. You
But
think
instead they
more
get
heat?
hot. Yeah, they're made to get
Okay.
really hot, and
Very
they
cool.
convert that to
Power.
right.
Gotcha.
That could be something we could test if we could maybe, I don't know, it sounds silly, but blast a
heater at it or
hot
something,
air,
yeah.
but what do thing.
Yeah.
Girls use it. They call it the
cur-
hair
oh,
dryer.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. There you go.
Imagine using a hair dryer.
Laura says she thinks it's like a Generac. Oh, so that's more of a gas-powered generator.
Yeah,
They're
you need
awesome.
a secondary source for it. You have
Yeah.
a secondary source of fuel you need.
Yeah. So the only problem with those is gas. You have to have an
They run
inverter,
off propane.
AMG or lithium batteries to store the power. Thinking of a home system. I'll have to look into it, Laura.
Generacs, at least in my experience with them, they're backup generators. They come on when your power goes off,
Yeah.
and they run off like there's a fuel tank buried in the ground nearby.
Yeah, typically.
So as long as your fuel tank is full, and it's
Yeah.
usually propane or something strange, you can't just dump diesel in the thing.
Now, Laura says she has a 500-pound propane tank, so she could potentially power the generator off the propane tank.
Yeah, that's how they work.
Yep.
But when your propane runs out, again, it's back to infrastructure and how
Yeah.
you refill it.
Yeah, I hope
The
you got a
truck's not
cousin that's a
coming.
fuel oil driver.
Yeah, the truck may not
Or a
be able to
propane
come
truck
to your
driver.
house.
Bear.
Solar, wind, and hydro are user renewable.
Yep.
A good buddy of mine, again, who I just won't name because I'm not gonna. But we were camping up in the Adirondacks one time and having this conversation. Like, what if we just had nothing? Like, what if we're up here camping in the Adirondacks
And this is
like,
it. Yep.
and boom, the bombs dropped or whatever, and here we are. And we were kind of like a little doomed about it, like oh man, what would we do? Like,
Yeah.
My buddy's like looking around. He's like, all these vehicles, he's talking about like wiring up like the serpentine belts and hooking up alternators and putting a paddle wheel in the creek
Take the
behind the
batteries
camp
out
and
of them.
start charging up electricity and doing stuff. And it's like,
Yeah, it's feasible. It can be done. It can be done with some ingenuity and some tools.
you just make like you see what you're trying to do, like
Yeah,
make it work.
that's it. Bear says he's been seeing a lot of military moving, and a friend of mine in another state says the same thing. Does anybody know what's up with that?
Yeah, they're starting to train for winter.
Well, yeah, where they're actually winding down all of their summer trainings and gearing up for winter. So there's equipment moving all over the place. I've seen some
Bringing stuff home, getting inventory, and
Yeah, I've seen some videos of some really cool looking pickup trucks that they got now. They kind of look like they've replaced the Humvees with something.
Well, I mean, they got some.
I think
pretty
they're
nice stuff.
Oshkosh brand.
Very nice
Yeah, they're
things.
pretty.
Very nice things.
We pay for it, so
So a $750 billion budget, like
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Like out here buying
exactly.
Hondas.
No.
No Civics. No.
Bullfrog
500.
Swamp Homestead, how are you? Great conversation here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're trying to get the word out. I didn't get to share the stream to so many people tonight. I kind of dropped the ball on that, Livingston, man. I'm sorry.
What stream?
This
one?
Yeah.
What? How many people in here?
15 currently.
Cool.
And that's all good. Happy to have all of you here tonight. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with us. Much appreciated.
The old days.
The old days.
Talk to me, buddy. What was it like when you was a kid? Let's bring it back.
Oh man, I remember playing video games when I was a kid.
That's Nintendo?
No, even before that.
Atari.
Like the ColecoVision. ColecoVision.
Like a Sega Master System. You ever seen one of them things? The Neo Geo. Yo, my buddy. Okay, this kid. This kid that lived next door to me on Washington Street back in the day, if he's watching this, you know who he is. Um, he's like, yo, I asked for a Super Nintendo for Christmas, dude.
Yes.
Super Nintendo. It was, you know, first year this thing
Very
came
cool.
out, Super Nintendo. And he's like, then Christmas morning came, he's like, yo, I didn't get that, you know. I was like, oh, man. Like, the whole neighborhood was, like,
Really bummed for
disappointed.
it,
Like,
yeah.
oh, we showed up then, like, we went in his room, and he's like, yo, I got that. And everybody was like, yeah! We were still, like, 16-bit
Yeah,
graphics. 16-bit
Yeah.
graphics.
Yeah, now that's old. That's old.
Classic.
I'm literally talking
couldn't
to
cheat.
people all over the world on my smartphone right now.
We got these big foil lights around us and shit.
Yeah.
Taking out a
Yeah,
picture of
it's
that
pretty
shit.
cool. It's
Damn
pretty cool.
camera.
Operate 357 says Oshkosh JLTVs.
Post the link in the comments. Show us like a promo video for that thing.
Yeah, I bet you they're pretty impressive. Anything the military.
I
totes
love military
is-
hardware, man.
is incredible.
The bigger the better. The better.
Livingston, man, would you be interested in perhaps doing a video on a surplus store trip?
Will they let us? Can we just bust out cameras in the store?
I don't know, but I think it's worth a phone call.
I
Maybe
mean-
we can even interview the owner of the store if he's there. Whoa, that was interesting.
We got tumbleweeds in here.
Well, the bunker. The bunker.
It's all the artillery going off out up top. It's
Laura
shaking the dust
says,
loose.
yes, they will let you. Very cool. I think that would be...
I mean, we're not gonna be clown. I mean, I'm a kind of a clown.
oh, yeah. He's going to
front of
play... He's going to go play dress up in a surplus store is what it's going to be.
My wife calls me a ham. I always like cameras pointed at me. I never had a problem with it. Now I point them at everybody else. And
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Well, you do a great job, man. You do a fantastic job. And I think viewers can attest that you can definitely tell when I'm filming a video and when the Livingston man's filming a video. The content has a great cinematic feel to it, and he really puts this stuff together incredibly, guys. So hats off to the Livingston man.
It's because he doesn't try. Isn't waves the damn thing around. That's all you
Yeah.
gotta do. Like
He does a great job.
keep that thing on me. You know what I'm saying?
You do too. Yeah, he just whips a GoPro out of his pocket.
And what you do is like, don't tell your subject whether you're recording or not. Like, just to always tell them like, I'm not recording, but like, yeah, you are. But like,
Yeah.
or am I? Like, no, I'm not recording.
You gotta be careful of that in some places, man. Some states, that's tisk. Yeah.
Well, so it's got a little flashing red light on the front. You keep that
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, here you go. Safety.
Keep that on.
Texas Surplus Pro. Good evening. Good evening.
How is Texas? I hear things that sound great. Or I hear things that sound like downright, like, you know, apocalyptic. I mean, which one am I hearing? What's the reality in Texas, huh? There's a lot of news about Texas.
Yep.
What's happening? I'm gonna sit around and wait. I'll monologue while this guy types out a
He said
an
he's not there
informed
anymore.
response.
He's up in our part of the country now. Very cool. Oh, that's right. Texas Surplus Pro reached out to me the other day. He'd like to come to the event.
So he's got surplus? Because the
He's
dudes in
in,
Texas got good gear, man.
Yeah, they get the good gear down there.
Fair. All right, maybe we'll see you at the event because that'd be cool, man. I got money, I got gear, I got whatever you want to.
Yeah,
Trade for trades and whatever.
that's right. That brings up another point of the old ways, and finding this stuff is barter.
Yeah.
Barter. We need to bring back the barter system.
I think it's really it's the easiest one to work with because if you really just look inside yourself and like let the money aspect of things go in this community, money really doesn't matter. You can't. Let me make sure I get my own slogan correct. here.
Okay.
Money. You can't eat it, drink it, wear it, or fuck it. It's useless.
There you go.
Honestly, a wad of cash, really. So that one piece of paper is worth more than the other one. Weird. What should I do with it when I have nothing to eat? When
TP.
you have something that someone else needs and they have something that you need, and it's just like that.
Yep. Yep. And that doesn't necessarily have to be something physical. It could be a skill that you could trade. If you're a plumber, maybe you could, wire him up a pump or pipe in a pump for him or something to help get water to the house.
Labor for goods.
Exactly. Let's see.
It's not
NFT
slavery, it's
decentralized
empowerment.
says barter system. We may be forced to if inflation keeps up like they say it is. I agree. I think we're all about to take a humongous hit, even more so than we have before at the grocery stores.
Before we're forced to, we might start to look into the possibility that we should choose to.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, you have a real hard time changing my mind. Like I said, money.
Yeah.
The entire system has crashed. Okay, that's everybody's scenario, right? That's why we're here. Okay, what are you going to do with those pieces of paper besides eat them?
Use them to start Mickwicks.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the truth.
Money.
It's the truth.
And which one's equally more worthless? I don't know. Like the cash in your pocket that all of a sudden is useless. Or your digitized like funds that you've never even seen before. You just cash your check and put it in
the EFTs.
It's not real. You just get your credits.
The ones and zeros.
Okay, like money, folks. Use it to purchase physical, tangible items that matter and can be used for something.
So that's exactly why
now
I would rather
before it isn't worth anything.
Yeah, because I would rather you take that money and go spend it on preps at the grocery store or, get in on a beef buy with somebody than to give me your hard-earned fiat currency and your family loses because of that, but you gain this piece of equipment. I would rather trade you something else for that.
It's community. I talk about this. I try to on every live stream and community.
It's a big thing.
It's like there are no haves and have-nots because what you don't have,
somebody else might.
And by default, that means that you have.
Like, Mr. Kermit, how are you?
I don't know why the smoke keeps coming towards you, and I'm sorry if you guys are getting smoked out.
It's because I'm sucking so much wind.
They're going to sue us in 10 years for secondhand smoke, because I'm
blazing up the live stream.
Yeah. Sorry.
NFT says it's why skills are so important. I agree wholeheartedly.
Tradespeople are some of your go-tos when it comes to, and if you get a crew of these guys that all do different stuff but are all good buddies. You got the dude that knows how to do electric. You got the dude that knows how to do ductwork. You got the dude that knows how to do framing, roofing, blah, blah. Okay, when you get all these dudes together on the site, all of a sudden you can rebuild civilization like that. Like they got the tools, they got the know-how, and you can start. I mean, tradies start to come together too. Like
Matt Shad's in the house, Mr. Kermit. Let's see. We're good. Mad Shed, greetings from the Erie Coast. Mad Shed, do you guys get any salmon run up there where you're at? I was recently at the river, man. I've been itching to go back. I just love hanging out in the Salmon River. It's one of my favorite places. Texas Surplus Pluro says he does expect that precious metals will play some part in the new economy.
Why should they? Okay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
But why should they too? You got a big pocket full of gold. You're going to eat that, drink that.
Well, that's what he says.
That?
He says, but being able to do things, it's a big flex. That was the rest of what he was saying. He expects precious metals will play some part in the new economy.
You guys want to go down a rabbit hole? Go ahead and research for yourself why some people think humans have an obsession with precious metals. It's an interesting story.
It's a good theory. Yeah,
what else is happening?
We got some heavy hitters in the prepping world here.
The old days, folks.
Arkansas living, Mad Shad.
We came to talk about the old days.
Bullfrog, Swamp Homestead.
We're probably all older than our years. I'm like 19 years old, dude.
I had to have his mom sign a permission slip.
I have 30 years of overtime clocked.
Shout out to BLT.
It's mind
Silver
boggling.
has lots of uses too. It does. It goes a lot further than
If you can work
silver.
with it,
Yeah. Yep. I mean, smithing will be a big thing post SHTF to be able to make yourself a knife if you needed to, or forge a piece of metal to repair something else.
yes, a lot of you guys, you call yourselves machinists.
Yeah.
Now I'm not dissing any trade here or anything that anybody knows how to do or has been trained to do or is your profession or whatever. Hear me out. If you, I'm a machinist, okay, but if for you to do that requires you to like go to a place where someone else owns that equipment and do it,
Yeah.
it can again cause you an issue. If you're a guy that has that stuff at home and you also have brought your work home with you, so to speak, you'll be in a better position again to contribute to community later when like we're going to need people that know how to do stuff like this. Oh, you're a machinist, that you should like look into doing smithing,
Yeah,
smelting.
Yeah, things at home. Absolutely.
Pardon me, I got all worked up. We built a little smelter in our backyard out of some. We found some plans on YouTube. We built it's like a plaster of Paris. You put some buckets together, you make
Okay.
a little kiln,
Yep.
and you drop beer cans in it, and it like burns them away. We had charcoal and like a electric leaf blower running into it, and we melted down like straight aluminum, had billets. We poured it into muffin pans. So then we had these little muffins of aluminum, and then you could just do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
We did this in our backyard.
Yeah, it can be done.
Talk about messing around with like precious metals. Learn how to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not like I'm flexing, I'm the man out here. I'm just saying like.
No, Bullfrog Swamp Homestead says that he would rather have livestock than cash or silver in SHTF.
And a sustainable way to like keep them reproducing everything.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you had, breeding stock, you'd be even better set. NFT says, good point, Livingston. Lead, copper, and brass are the most valuable to me. Ammo, says Old Mutt. Yeah.
Poor guy. I mean, can we throw an F for Alan in the chat? Because he had to sell everything just to pay taxes.
Yeah, it's true.
He lives on the street.
Yep.
Just getting by with.
Yeah, eating on his preps, man.
And what the
Eating on his preps.
and his supply is really dwindling. I mean, it's been a while.
Let's see. Gold is super conductive, Mad Shad, and it never rusts. Absolutely.
You're gonna stretch it, pull it, twist your own wires, and do all that stuff. I'm not bragging.
Well, gold is also in its purest form. It's really soft. If you notice, most rings and things that you get made out of gold are 10-karat gold.
What are you going to do with it? When you are starving and hungry, lying in the dirt? What is a fucking pocketful of gold really gonna do for you?
Yeah. Well, hope it.
This is Hudson Valley prepping and survival.
Yeah.
Not Hudson Valley crypto and fucking fiat currency. Okay. Precious metals are really, really cute. Like, bang them into rings and make bracelets for the women and stuff. And other than that, like basing your currency off them, I ask you, honestly, not being a wise ass, why?
Yeah. Well, throughout history, gold has always held its value. It's always been some. In the olden days, people of stature had more gold than. If you had more gold, you were a person.
Let's call this food.
Sure.
Okay, I have food.
Yep.
Give me gold. Give me the gold. I know you don't. Just
Okay.
come on, okay. Here, take the food.
Okay.
Now, who got the better deal than this just now?
I did with the food.
What do I do with this?
You trade it for something else.
To who?
Somebody else who thinks it's of value.
For what?
For food. To be able to eat. You
hear this?
Typically, we are the only species that pays to live on the planet Earth.
Go down the rabbit hole and find out why people idolize things like gold, diamonds, and precious metals. You'll be very surprised what you may find. I'd love to hear about it later on in the comments. Maybe I'll revisit the video and be like, holy crap, dude. Yeah, because there's a reason, in my opinion. And I'm not going to get into it here because it sounds like a conspiracy.
Well, sometimes.
Check it out. And I'm not even... See, what I'm not doing is actually telling them what it is. And so I'd love to just hear back what they come up with. But why? Imagine Your
So
family's starving and you bring home 3 chunks of gold. Here you go, kids.
Patty says
This
never
soldier.
throw out your old car batteries. There's a lot of lead in them. And lead is even easier to melt down than um, your aluminum cans. You can do it at a much lower temperature and melt lead down.
I can't imagine what you would use
Um,
lead for.
I make sinkers for fishing with them.
I suppose you can make more car
Yeah.
batteries, right? If you take the old car batteries and you melt them all down and you make new ones and you have like
Well, Mad Shad said that he could make a golden bullet if need be.
I knew these dudes on Facebook. They throw them in the ocean. It recharges the electric eels, and it's apparently
That's
finally
terrible.
the starfish can.
That's terrible. No, do not throw your old car batteries in the ocean.
The starfish. How are the starfish supposed to power the house? We're being selfish. We're throwing them all in our own landfill when they could use that surplus.
Says there will be some level of society, regardless of how bad things get, and metals are worth something. He says, "Oh, and leave his Dogecoin alone. It made a lot of money."
I stand by my original statement.
Well,
that Dogecoin stuff. All right, let me talk. I'm gonna just
the
hot take nobody asked for. That cryptocurrency shit. Okay, that's another one. I dare you to answer this question.
out of thin air.
What is it? What does
It's,
it do? And why is it worth anything? I'm right here waiting.
Somebody decided it was going to be worth something.
Somebody hit a weird computer virus in something, and it's your job to find it.
It caught on.
Utilizing 8 billion watts of like at 1.21 gigawatts like power requirements, like a data miner rig. I'm taking Bitcoin. Yeah. What the hell is Bitcoin? What does it do? Why is it there?
And
who cares?
Well, you can ask that exact same question.
Elon Musk has to just say some like dumb shit about Bitcoin. And y'all ain't got no money all of a sudden. You hear yourselves? Listen, money.
It happens. It happens.
You're talking to Livingston Man here. I'm leaning into the camera because I'm mad now.
Oh.
Money.
Yeah.
Useful and useless at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, someday.
Buy tangible physical objects with it. If it's virtual in any regard, it's not real.
Well, a lot of people right now are of the mindset of get it.
Spend your paycheck. Don't look back.
Get it while you can.
Get
it while you can. NFT Decentralized says some say fresh water is the most valuable currency during a shit hit the fan situation.
Probably true.
Yes. And depending upon this shit hit the fan situation, I think fresh water and shelter are going to be your two biggest things.
2 quickest ones you need. We've been here before.
Yep.
There's the one everyone forgets about. 3 hours without shelter. And we all know that like 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3
weeks without food, right?
But 3 hours
without shelter. Yep. Let's see. Operator
so
357
is going to be the ones that save us, right?
No. That's why I tell it.
They got the water in the tents, man. They got water in tents.
Yeah, but you absolutely have got to prepare to be your own first responder in all aspects of life. You keep a fire extinguisher, you keep medical supplies, and you keep a means of defense.
It's really hard to imagine, like, depending on someone that could be like 45 minutes away to do something.
Yeah, as you get more rural and as things degrade more, you dial 911 and sometimes people don't answer, guys.
Might not mean that much.
Exactly. Virginia Woodsman, what up? Operator 357 says Phillips head drywall screws will probably be worth more than gold.
I hate them.
Oh, the Phillips head drywall screws.
Tradies, hear me out, okay? Like, I really just like the nice T, like a Torx bit. Phillips head.
Strip City.
Man, it'd be stripping, man.
Strip City.
Stripping. You can put them in, but you might not get it back, and that's really what I like about a screw, is they're reusable.
Yeah.
Nails are too, if you
to an extent
can deal with a slight bend in it from you pulling it out.
Straighten them out a little bit.
If you're talking about post-apocalyptic building materials, you're going to want to go with something that you can possibly reuse.
Yeah.
Fasteners being one of them, because in a societal breakdown, unless you know how to make screws, bro, you might want to think about where you're getting them from.
Yeah. Well, And if you're gonna buy in as bulk
Y'all
as
know
you
how to
can.
press ammo. Y'all don't know how to press nails, though.
Well, there's a lot of pre-built society already, and
Yeah,
the
you seen
ammo.
it? You seen the state it's in?
Yeah,
You walk in the house,
it's
you walk
rough,
in the house,
man.
and you're like, who built this?
Yeah,
Go ahead, and you show up at the spot. You're like, we can hold this position. And then you start looking around. You're like, I don't know, man.
yeah, yeah. Somebody built this with
Landlord was
finish nails.
landlord was cheap with this one. This is America, people.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
Operator 357 says lead equals bullets. Bullfrog Swamp Homestead says money is only useful when you spend it on something you need. That is 100% correct.
That's real. You can hold in your hand, and they
Um,
can't come and take away from you later.
yeah, guys. I mean, you're gonna every something of value doesn't necessarily. It's not the same value to you that it is to me.
Of course not.
And different things hold different value to different people in different situations. So something that's not worth a whole lot now to me might be worth a fortune to somebody else just starting out.
Prepping is a very personal thing.
Absolutely.
What you can do is soak up like a sponge would be, in my opinion, the ideal student of prepping and survival, to soak up all the knowledge and experience of everyone in their little
Yeah.
community, and not and form their. It's not about like doing what this guy does, buying this kit, and now okay, so I have this thing, and like
No,
I'm
no,
good.
it's finding your own way
Very
with it.
personal. You'll meet people who are doing things a completely different way than like you even thought of. The end result being you're prepping and surviving, regardless of if your methods are the same or not. It only matters if they work.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Operator 357 said he'll cave in a bit and just say screws or in general hardware. But yeah, they could have more value than gold.
Screws are better reusable, but they require
A driver, but they did make drivers that were manual powered.
sure like the old Liberty drills, even
Exactly,
like where the original
exactly.
start. We're talking about back the way things used to be, old school like mechanical
Yeah,
tools,
old
like
hand tools, hand planers, hand saws, all that. The drills to be able to peg a piece of wood as opposed to nail
when
it.
you find like I work at a place where there's a lot of old stuff, and sometimes I'm called upon to like fix it or otherwise, or even
Yep,
restore it.
yep.
And what I end up having to do is, look at what these old guys have done, how they did it, figure it out.
Yeah, reverse engineer it almost.
Then realize that, like, yeah, sure, okay, so there's like a dovetail here. Fine, let me just run it through my router table, get my dovetail on,
Yep.
and then realize that they didn't have that. Like, however it was, they did this like by hand with,
Chisels.
yeah.
With chisels.
I'm looking at a joint that like cost them all day. I can run it out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, with modern power tools.
Sure, with some measurements and proper positioning, I can just, yeah, and then there it is.
Absolutely.
But then what I feel like what I'm doing is cheap. I don't even understand how they did this. I'm from
Yeah.
a completely different generation.
Joinery is a whole different thing.
Just for one example,
It's almost an art form.
and it's the better way to go. Like, so, jamming screws into things, yeah, works. Or you can do it the old school craftsman way. In a
Yep.
survival situation, you'll have nothing but time on your hands. You'll find yourself bored. It's why like the soldiers like make those 550 cord bracelets and like
Plenty
make
of
this like
well,
really
the hurry
cool,
up,
like
the hurry
arts,
up and wait mentality of the service.
the arts and crafts thing. As eventually as like society degresses, we'll actually find ourselves.
Lady Smith says
better.
a ratchet style driver. I agree. Operator 357 says a brace and drill bits. Absolutely. Bullfrog Swamp said the settlers out west did too. Iron nails were like gold. Oh, that brings me back to another point. Arkansas said old timers around there used to burn the barns and houses for the nails before they rebuilt or moved. Yeah, that way you don't bend them up. You get them out nice and easy. New York Prepper is in the house. What is happening, brother? How are you?
The place we work at, we constantly find old, like the antique, like
All hand cut nails.
like,
Yep.
uh, forged, I guess, or whatever, or cast maybe even.
Yeah.
I don't know how they made them. But what we assume is that back in those days, they had a blacksmith on site.
Yeah.
Like,
Most of the time, or the village blacksmith.
there
would
was
make
no
nails
there was
for
no
everybody.
hardware store to go to where you can just be
Right.
like, let me get 75 pounds of nails. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Pre-hardware
be
stores,
within-
but that's the. What about even
Work-
like
they're gonna-
logging?
the hardware stores will all be emptied by
Oh yeah.
purchase or the opposite of such.
Yep.
And
Peaceful protest.
that won't be the end of it. You're either going to have to start to learn how to reuse even some of the most basic of things.
Yeah.
Nails, thumbtacks, shingles. I mean, who knows? Like,
Yeah.
you're going to really have to start to think about what's worth something and
Exactly.
what you can do with it.
Yeah. And anvil and a nail setter. He said he's got one somewhere. Yes, sir. I mean, finding those old tools is tough, and if you can hit up yard sales while they're still going on and find some of somebody's grandpa's old tools who's tired of storing them, all the more power to you, especially if you have a place to store them. And throw them in a storage unit.
Learn how to use them. Again, if you're going to
Yeah.
attempt to, if you think okay,
That's another big thing.
it's one thing to have the tools and it's another thing to learn how to
Yeah, be able to employ
know
them.
what they do with them,
Yeah, that's huge.
I play the guitar too.
Right.
So just because you own a guitar,
It doesn't mean you know how to play a guitar.
right? And it's that really kind of makes the difference between whether I want to listen to you do it or not.
Yeah, absolutely,
So-
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you want to take advice from people who are doing the things. People where they say you never take advice from somebody who's not where you want to be in life. I've heard that said before, but that's a good thing too. And if somebody's where you want to be, it's kind of okay to take some advice from them because they've made some decisions that will help you hopefully get to the same where you want to be, which is where they are. So
I think people like when you hear someone's like outlook, you kind of either agree with it or you don't. It's never hurts to like try to learn.
yeah, as much as you can, especially right now. I mean, we still have power, we still have the internet, we still have all these new technologies.
Some of you guys in this prepper community, that what I'm piggybacking on what I just said, is that some of you guys in this prepper community, I'm like, you are a little bit unrealistic, perhaps, or maybe some of you guys I've heard of, like, kind of, you have the right idea, but you base your ideas over a specific scenario, and it's like, okay, so if that happens, you're good, but if like anything else happens, like,
Yeah.
versatility, like stay on your feet.
Yep. Being able to adapt.
And
That's a big
really
thing.
keep in mind what your real essentials actually are,
Yeah.
because those are universal. It doesn't matter what happens, but there are some key survival essentials that matter to all of us, no matter what our perceived scenario or what exactly we're planning for.
Yeah.
What we're all planning for
Is
is survival.
yeah.
We are prepping to survive.
Yep. It's the truth.
So as long as you end up doing that, you did it right. So
Yeah.
learn everything you can from everyone you talk to that's doing it. Even if they're the most wildest dude, like doing some weird stuff, like you never know.
Yeah,
man.
you might be able to learn something from them.
It's called experience. The
Yeah.
weird job I do. I work at this weird place where they ask me to do strange things all the time, and experience boils down.
Yeah.
And you're like, eventually I'm now to the point like where I can be like, I've seen this before. I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Try to get like into that like place with like your prepping and you're just like real world knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Street smarts, maybe they call it.
Yeah. Well, that's what we used to call it, back in the old days.
You're gonna have to really rely on that because again, there's not gonna be a news to tell you what to think.
That's right.
And you're gonna have to start to judge people on personal interaction.
Yep.
Horrifying.
Mad Chad
I know.
almost got my slogan right. He says adapt, change, overcome. We say improvise, adapt, and overcome. If you can't find a normal solution to a situation, we improvise, we adapt, we overcome.
The slogan we use at work, me and Anchor Man, I'm gonna call him.
Okay.
Some people call him the Viking.
Okay.
It's brute force and ignorance shall prevail.
Brute force and ignorance shall prevail. Yeah,
Punch
that's
it right in the face and keep pushing it and just knock it over. Like,
let's see what do we got going on here. Mad Shad says he loves his old tools. Just a patina alone on it is amazing. I agree. Some of those old tools are just they're built to last. They're still around. They're older than most of us. And if you can get your hands on them, stash them away while you can, guys. Two-man saws to be able to fell trees.
okay, go ahead and get your hands on one of those.
Oh, dude, they sell them at yard sales. You
Yo,
find
we
them every
found
once
one.
in a while.
We found one. We went up to the Adirondacks in this wilderness area, but before that, it was a logging thing, old growth, like old times, like
yeah.
Depression era. They went in there, they like took out like big old trees out in the Adirondacks. They found one. It's like a 14-foot like two-man saw. The handles rotted off of it, but
Oh,
the
no
blade
kidding.
just laying on the
That's
ground.
incredible.
Uh,
That's awesome.
I don't want to say too much because I guess like you're actually not allowed. But like I seen one.
Cool. Very cool.
You can find this kind of stuff. And
Yeah. They're not easy to find.
I don't. Yeah, that was like a random thing.
Yeah, but if you see one,
I don't agree.
And you have any of these old tools, guys, old anything,
I hated that about the Adirondacks when I went there. Around the old forge area.
Okay.
You go out in these like they call them wilderness areas, but then you go there and you find like tree stumps cut off and like ancient like saws, and you're like, this isn't a wilderness at all. Like you've already been here, man. It's annoying.
Let's see what we got going on in the chat. NY Prepper wants to know if Old Mutt got any frost yet. Old Mutt says it's coming soon.
They taxed him on it.
Yep. Farm Smarts says Operator 357. That is correct. I hope you guys are practicing your gardening skills. It's looking more and more like we're going to need to start, making our own food sources here sooner or later.
You really should. It's not even that hard. And like, let me tell you this, start kind of small. It's very easy to be like, I'm going to plant 48 tomato plants. Yeah, go ahead. Plant 48 tomato plants and take care of them.
Virginia Woodsman said, remind me to send you the pic of the buck saw he got at a yard sale for $5. Yes, please do. NY Prepper says he used to train with the crosscut saws. That's right. He went to forestry school. I forgot about that, Prepper. NY Prepper. He says he much prefers his chainsaw. And I agree. Anytime you can use power tools, make life easy, do it.
We have all these cordless power tools. And one of the things we're going to try to do is incorporate Mike's Jackery solar generator and see if we can't make a solar powered like workshop as well. Like,
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Some of the things we're going to try to do are that's live off the land kind of thing.
Like, absolutely. I mean, if you can power those tools and take them, say, off the grid in like Alaska or something, and you wanted to build yourself a structure.
Everybody brings these guns and not like
screw guns.
Like these guns. Like it's like cool, man. Like
Old Mutt comes to a lot of the training events that we do, and everybody's breaking out their little saws to cut some firewood, and Old Mutt says, want to use a chainsaw? And he pulls out his battery operated chainsaw, and we cut firewood all afternoon with that thing. It was absolutely awesome. So any shortcuts you guys can take. Work smarter, not harder. So the trick is to find the tools that will do that job when you don't have to charge them, you don't have to put gas in them, and something that stood the test of time.
Yep.
All these old tools have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And don't forget about the lost ways, guys. It's something that we're probably going to have to get back to. So
if you're like a 21st century digital boy like myself and you need all your cool batteries and gadgets and stuff, then plan around that. You're going to need a way to charge them and feed them, so to speak.
Yep. And I mean, eventually the Jackery will wear out. The batteries will stop charging. Um, I can't mine lithium. I don't know how to make batteries. So eventually, even that would break down. So to have those tools, if you can find them, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Put them away. But first and foremost, I think stack food. That's a big one.
Spam. I go to the store like once or so a week, and what I just grab a can of spam.
Stack it in the shelf.
I have like mad spam, and I know like I've said this before. Is like everybody's laughing at me. Oh, you're gonna eat spam? No, y'all.
Oh man,
Y'all gonna
farmer.
pay me money for it.
Militant farmer in the house. Shondo, what up? Militant farmer says live chat. He didn't even get a notification. I put the. It was, I don't know. There was probably about what, an hour before. So if you want to make sure you get notifications, you gotta hit gotta hit the bell icon. If you hit that bell icon, you'll get future notifications on these streams. We're typically going to try and do them on Thursday evenings, but our schedules have been absolutely crazy, and spur of the moment. Hey, I got a couple minutes. Can we get one together? And here we are. So sorry I didn't get the notification out well in advance, guys. I will try to get them out earlier. Bear says he didn't get a notification either, and he did hit the bell icon.
Well, I didn't get a notification either. It took a minute.
Yeah. YouTube doesn't like people like us.
I'm gonna step off camera for a minute.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'll be right back.
Oh boy. Thanks, Texas Surplus Pro. I appreciate it. John Poole. He has a two-man saw, the old one, handle broke. Absolutely. Those are the kind I'm talking about. Sean Doe said he didn't get one either. Wow. See? They're kicking me. They're kicking me. I didn't even get up yet, and they're kicking me down. I must be saying something right. So yeah, man, we got a lot of new things coming up on the channel here. The Livingston Man's incredible camera work. We're going to start incorporating a drone into the videos too, to give you guys another perspective on some of the things that we do. And I want to take this show on the road too. I enjoy live streaming with you guys, and I think it'd be cool to do it kind of on location in different places. Anybody can live stream from behind a desk. We're kind of in the bunker here, but so no desk, unfortunately. And with the Livingston Man's new channel, or Facebook account, Livingston Man, you will find that he's going to do lots of behind the scenes stuff from here, and it should be really cool. Should be really cool, guys. We're well past the hour mark, so I'm probably going to wind the stream down here in a minute. Let's see, planting garlic this weekend. Oh man, we got Kim Jong-un is here, everybody. Can you believe that? Oh Lord. Halloween's coming, guys. Halloween's coming. So we'll definitely be doing some dress up for the Halloween live stream here. Rocket Man, woohoo! Yeah, it's that is absolutely great. Well, guys, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for watching. If you could do me a favor and smash that like button before you guys head out. Don't forget, NY Prepper said he saw Vladimir Putin in the chat earlier. That's really funny. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, the bell icon, maybe click it and click it again if you guys didn't get notified. I'm sorry, YouTube, they do what they do, and I just keep trying to do what we do. And, well, what Livingston Man and I do. This guy, we don't want to do what he does. Thank you so much, guy. Yeah, he is a little tall. We're going to have to take him out at the knees. Thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate you coming out. I am Mike. This is the Livingston Man.
It was me.
Is
It
Hudson
was me
Valley
the whole
Prepping
time,
and
you guys.
Survival. You guys are awesome. We're out of here.